Hey everyone, welcome to this episode of the Paddle Talk podcast. Great to have you along this week. We've got a fantastic show coming up. We have Hruska from HPT Turbos and HPL Lubricants coming on the show to talk about all things turbo and their involvement with the Southern Power Sports Drag Racing Series this summer. We also have David French talking about the benefit race coming up in West Virginia, the middle of June, and West Virginia Dirt Drags. I am joined, as always, by Damian Bowers, John Sorg, Billy Teeters, and Mr. Dave Applegate. So let's kick things off right away. Guys, how are we feeling tonight? And let's dive right in, shall we?
Woo! Yeah, let's do it.
All right, there we go. Dave Applegate, we will give you the floor first. Don't disappoint.
I'm not going to disappoint. Here's what we got. I've been thinking about something. You know, we always do hot takes, right? We got an awesome show tonight. We got a lot of different people, a lot of different sponsors that are new and all this craziness. And it's been a blast tonight, right? So I got to thinking about something. It wasn't just me. Me and John Sword actually has talked about this, and we're going to go with it. So we're obviously wanting to bring the dirt and sand drag, events to a higher level, and to get people interested, and to get, more spectators and just the racers themselves, more upbeat, right? Not that sand and dirt drag racing is not upbeat, but it's kind of medium, right? Well, if you watch and if you've been noticing, there's something going on in the blacktop that used to happen years and years ago, and it's coming back. Now, we can't do it because we don't have a burnout box, or what otherwise known as a bleach box, all right, where they call it the pull-up girls. We need, or the backup girls that after the burnout, they back them up. We need pull-up girls. That's what I think. I think we need, and I'm not talking anything crazy. I'm just talking about, the wife, the girlfriend, whatnot. As they're coming up to the line, they come on up and they pull them up close to the line. I think it would help grow the sport and get people interested. I mean, it's working in the blacktop. Why can't it work here? That's what I think. I think we need some pull-up girls.
I like it. I'll allow it.
I mean, in the mud drag world, and down in Puerto Rico, they pull out about 60 feet and track back.
Yeah.
Just don't think anybody's going to be wearing any high heels out there on any of the surfaces we run on.
Probably not.
The problem with now, I love this idea of hot chicks like lining up the cars and stuff like that.
I can do that.
The problem is, will they pick a good spot? As long as you teach them how to find a good spot, I think they'd be fine.
Do you care if they got nice legs and a nice rack?
Well, I don't know. It could be distracting when the car's sitting like this when you're trying to go down the track.
That's true.
Here's how it would be, though. Here's how it would be. You would have to plan it right. So Isaac is a very good racer, right? Now, Isaac may not be necessarily looking at the pull-up girl, right? I don't mean that bad, but Isaac may not. But if Isaac said, hey, I know Dave's going to be watching that pull-up girl, and I've got to run him, I want the hottest pull-up girl to be pulling him up. And there you go. Isaac gets a free win because I'm like, oh, and the light turns green and Isaac's gone. And I'm sitting there like, hey, can I get your number or something? You know
what are you doing later?
There's advantages and disadvantages, right?
I love how this is a different girl every time. Like every pass is just going to be a different girl who just lines you up.
Yeah.
Keep
your options open.
It literally could be Damien in a little hula hoop, the old 50 style.
No.
I am, man.
Applegate, I think you just jumped the shark, buddy. You were going so well, and you just jumped the shark.
Went to shit.
If I see Damien wearing that, I'm gonna shoot him.
So that's my kind of thing to start it off here with. Is I think we need to, and I'm I'm exaggerating, but really, we ought to look into something that is really going to boost this type, this sport, and maybe it's not pull-up girls. I mean, don't get me wrong, but we need to come up with something that's a little bit different to get more people involved, especially our spectators. So that's what I've got, Isaac. I think we all need to sit back, think about it. If anybody's got an idea that we can do to get more attention, I think that's what we need to do.
Dave, I applaud the idea that you're thinking outside the box, buddy. I like that a lot. I don't know if that's the best idea you've ever had, but I like that you're thinking outside the box. So, all right. Speaking of outside the box, John Sword, what do you have for us to lead off the evening?
Well, let's talk about everything Silverback this coming weekend. May 9th and 10th is the hill climb and swap meet. We start off Friday, gates open at noon. Noon to 5 is weigh-in and on Friday, and test and tune from 5 to 8. Saturday, gates open at 8 a.m. with 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. swap meet and tech in, and at 12:30 sharp, hill climb starts off.
Well, I mean, that doesn't matter to you though, because like you're not racing. So,
well, you know, I mean, I might show up.
Oh,
Johnny is a past King of the Hill, multi-time King of the Hill, actually.
but he's not. But he's not racing at this one.
Well, I might surprise you, Billy.
Oh, you got something to say here?
Well, you know, it's kind of late in the week now, so why not? I mean, I'm gonna go racing. I got an awesome call this week from Apple Tree Automotive and Chad Coker. He's unavailable to attend the event this weekend, and he asked if I'd jump in the seat and take the reins and give her a shot. So, yeah, it's been 25 plus years since I was King of the Hill now, about 20 to 25.
So you're
I
driving
guess
this
we're gonna
blower
give it
car.
another shot.
You're driving the blower car.
I'm driving the blower car.
Oh, boy.
Hey, Buggy, the blower car.
Okay, this got interesting. Now you put
Yes.
everybody on notice. So if you're watching this on Thursday or Friday and you're watching this and you're competing for King of the Hill, I mean, you
No,
might
Come
just be
here and
fucked.
watch and have fun. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Who's the defending King of the Hill?
Who
Are you
is
nervous?
Jason Vanderwall?
Are you
Oh,
nervous?
Yeah.
So that's
Are you nervous?
Am I nervous?
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. No, that's
I mean, he's
good.
getting
I mean,
out of his
look, guys,
bracket racing normalcy.
Look,
No,
guys, I
it's
don't-
not that. It's just I've had bad experiences on hills.
And
Well,
and this is not the hill climb we have always been accustomed to, right, Johnny? I mean,
Right.
this is very different from when Johnny and I first started climbing the hill. It was actually at the dunes, and there was literally cars that would not make it up the hill. I mean, it was half an accomplishment just to make it
Right.
up over the hill, much like the big eliminator. Versus now, it's literally who's going to set the fastest time. So.
I mean, they started doing that. I believe, Isaac, you can help me here, in the late 60s, early 70s. And I believe nobody crested the hill until the late 70s when they finally crested.
Yeah. And there's been some, I mean, not that, we're casting anything out there, but the hill has claimed its fair share of good race cars. Randy Vestula's car went to the great chassis shop in the sky, so to speak.
Yes.
With him leading the points at the drag strip
Yes.
one year in the fall. Earl Lettner's truck went full airborne one year. That video is still out there yet, even of that truck. What's that?
I did a full-on air assault
Yes, in the dragster.
in the dragster. That was pretty meaningful.
Christy Wagner took the merchant buggy
diesel
to its final spot at the hill climb.
Yeah.
I mean, the hill has not been kind to race cars at different points in time. So, yes, Dave.
So, yeah, I asked John if he was nervous, and he said he is. I truly feel, this is just my opinion through my years of racing, whether it's blacktop or on the dirt, is when you hear a guy says, this again, my opinion, when you hear a guy says, "Oh, I'm not nervous, I'm not worried," I look at that as a bad thing. I think if anytime you strap into a car, whether it's on a hill or on flat or whatever, you should have a little bit of those nerves with you, because that tells you that you have respect for that vehicle that you're driving.
Absolutely.
When you get to that point that you don't and you just really are not nervous about it, that's probably when you need to sit back and say, hey, I need to rethink things here because I'm going to get myself hurt or someone else. So, John, for you saying that you're a little bit nervous, I applaud you on that, man. That's
Well,
the way it
thank you.
should be. That's the way it should be. And I wish you the best of luck. You know, kick some butt, get up that
Thanks.
hill, and I
But I
just
can
feel
assure you
that-
one thing, you know, nervous or not, I'm gonna give that damn thing everything she's got. So
We fully expect the King of the Hill trophy to be in your background next week for the podcast.
that would be amazing. Will it happen? That's yet to be seen. So there's obviously some heavy hitters out there, and
Very much so.
All right, well, I'll put pressure on you. If you don't win the King of the Hill, you can't come back on the podcast until you get first place again.
Oh my goodness, Billy, what man.
Wow.
That's brutal.
I mean,
That's
you
so
only
brutal.
be off the
Brutal.
podcast for a week.
While John's thinking of that,
Pretty demanding. Hell, I got divorced.
yeah, while John's
Oh!
kind of gathering, while John's gathering all that in, trying to figure out what Billy just told him there, I still got to remember, though, I mean, you know, you can't be as nervous, John, as Damien on Billy's mini bike. I mean, you got to think about it that way.
No,
You know what I mean?
that shudder anybody's nerves.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
and that's
for
a
sure.
great lead in there, Dave. As Damian Bowers, even though you just disappeared and reappeared again, what are you bringing to the table here for the pod tonight?
I
Why
ain't
the
even
hell are you
prepared.
not prepared? You had 4 people go in front of you.
I was gonna say, and not only that, but you had questions for the people in front of them, at least 4 times.
Yeah, you had
each.
questions during the interviews, and now you're stuck. What is this?
Yeah, you're stuck now. I'm
Yep.
amazed.
Because I believe Isaac was going to cover the other thing that's going on in my head. So
And I will do that. So, all right. So I will jump to myself then. Unfortunately, folks, we have news of another, I'll say, track or group that is not doing any racing this summer. We talked about Rhodes Raceway already. We've talked about I believe it's the Albany, Oregon track as well, not doing anything. And now, literally just today, when we're recording this 3 hours ago, an announcement from the Old Iron Dirt Drags down in Three Rivers, Michigan, not far from myself or Johnny, that they will not be doing any more dirt drags there. They have done some, I believe, once a month for the last 7 years during the summertime. And I'll read the quote here. The members of Old Iron CMR have decided that we cannot afford to keep the dirt drags going anymore. We have been losing money for the last 7 years and cannot afford to do so. We will hold one final race on Sunday, June 1st. We regret making this decision. However, the club would also like to thank everyone for the support over the years. Club is not dissolving, just becoming more of a riding club. So that is the statement from Old Iron Dirt Drags, and unfortunately, it looks like I would almost compare it to more of a fair race type of thing. A lot of all heads up classes, I believe, and that sort of thing. But just disappointed that that's a place that they've decided that they can't be profitable on the races, and they're gonna kind of shutter it up and make a move in their club. So yeah, Dave Applegate.
Hey, real quick, man, guys, you know, we don't want to see any track go away. It's happening in the blacktop. It's happening in the dirt. If you are around that area on June 1st, go support them.
Yeah.
If you're just a
Absolutely.
spectator, go support them. Maybe we can get enough people there to get them to say, man, you know what? Let's try it one more time. Right. So let's help them keep that track going. Get up there, show up, support them. I mean, all the tracks, of course, but we got one that's getting ready to close up. Let's not let them close up, guys. Let's get there and support them.
Yeah, and just for everybody out there too, this is an ATV and side-by-side deal. This is not a full-size vehicle. They just don't have the pit space or the shutdown, to be quite frankly, on it. But this is an ATV and or side-by-side type of place. Yes, Billy.
And motorcycles as well. That's what they
Yep.
they thrive on. But yes.
Yep.
The fact
Billy, I
that they
think you
have
raised
ran
your hand.
this, the fact they have ran this long, 7 years, and they say they lost money for 7 years. I mean, it sounds like they really love the sport if they're willing to lose money over it. So, it just sucks to see. I hope they pack the house June 1st.
I hope so too, because I'll be honest, that is the day of my nephew's open house. So there is no way I'm going to make it. And I'm kind of bummed that I'm not going to be able to. So either that, or here's a pitch. There's got to be somebody that is looking to sponsor in that area that could possibly put up the money part of it so that this club does not have to eat the entire foot the bill on their own. And maybe with a sponsor, this keeps going for a while. So, like I said, it's only once a month during the summertime. So, yeah, if you're interested or want some more information, Old Iron Dirt Drags, if you look it up on Facebook, they've got a pretty good Facebook page. You can check it out, and I'm sure there's some contact info on there as well. So,
Yeah,
right.
or a promoter that's looking for somewhere to take something. Hey, look at maybe we can get hold of Lewis Cleaver. Maybe Lewis can get up there and bring something to him up there. You never know.
Possibly. Damian Bowers, now you have something.
Yeah, now we're talking about that with increasing costs and everything. Franklin County with their track this year, even they're seeing another increase in insurance of 8% over the year. So
Yeah, and that makes it tough on everybody, right? I mean, it doesn't matter, I mean, yeah, it is tougher. It is the world we live in right now. The word liability seems to get attached to everything. But yeah, it's tracks have to adapt somewhat and have to really start thinking outside the box, like things like the R3 race at Silverback. Different from what we're normally, into, but at the same point in time, drew a very big crowd with a free spectator weekend. I'm sure they made up between what they sold out of the concession stand and stuff. Sure, they made up way more than trying to take in some spectator money. So yeah, great to see. And yeah, this is where we're at. So we'll keep you updated on all these stories and more. But with that being said, let's move on to our first segment with Mr. Harry Hruska.
Whoa. You just overlooked me, bro.
What? Billy Teeters, what do you have?
Okay.
Do you really have something?
Yeah, I have things written down here I wanted to go over.
Yeah.
And he never even called.
He was going like
you
this.
didn't-
I thought he meant roll on.
Exactly. You didn't raise your hand like everybody else does.
This is me raising my hand.
That's 3 fingers and a
You
thumb.
were doing this.
It's a whole hand. 2 of them are bent.
Look,
Fuck
we're gonna fire your ass if you don't straighten up, Billy. That's
Yeah.
just all there is to it.
All right, what do you got, buddy?
You forgot who hired you. Okay, so first of all, my news. I want to give a shout out to my boy John Acker. He just got engaged as of like 10 minutes ago. My wife just told me on the Facebook.
Oh, breaking news. I love it.
Yeah, they posted it about 10 minutes ago, and like that, you guys are now just watching this like 24 hours later. So yeah, well, 48 hours later actually. My boy John Acker getting married. So congratulations, John. We're gonna celebrate in the Toka, dude. I can't wait to see you. You're gonna be married, man. My boy's getting married. Let's go, John. Boy Acker. And then I had another one. I actually had 2 of them. We have been posting a bunch of people who are confirmed for the Shelton's race coming up May 29th, 30th, and 31st, the Bluegrass Shootout presented by World Sand Drag News and Southern Power Sports Drag Racing Series. So I actually just had breaking news as we were recording this. Hunter Shelton from Missouri will be going to Shelton's Dirt Drags to run 295 index. He's been a killer in the class lately. Nitrous guy, doesn't run a wheelie bar, and it's gonna be interesting to see. He does very well so far, and I know Damien's making that face, and I think I thought he was gonna need one at Thunder Valley. I don't know if he's gonna need one at Shelton's, but I'm probably gonna be proven wrong very quickly.
the amount of people that have said that at Brookville and Shelton's both.
True. So other people who are confirmed for the race, Wade and Pruitt Schultz from Texas are going to make the trek out there. They're I don't know how many 295 cars they're bringing, but if they're both going to run it, that's going to be scary. I'm going to say his name wrong. Adolfo Rodriguez and Eric Gomez coming to run some 4x4 ATV outlaw action. Carson Combs from Ohio is going to come run with us. Austin Bullock from Indiana. Jay Coons from Indiana. Our boy Dave Applegate's going to be there with his side by side. Our boy John's going to be there with his dragster. Damien's trying to get some shit figured out with work. Hopefully he'll be there. Isaac's work's not going to let him off the leash, so he'll be stuck over there. And yeah, this is gonna be. And Cody Trice is our reigning 295 champion from last year. He's going to actually make the return back and defend his title. So this race is going to be a freaking banger. Regardless who's excited for this or not, Cameron. And this is going to be such a great race to be a part of. So I hope everybody that is coming to this race, if you're coming to this race, message me or Dave. Let us know so we can get you posted and confirmed. Let other people in your class that you're racing against know that you're going to be there. Let's make this awesome. And then you could possibly crack the top 5 on one of our lists. What's up, Isaac?
I have breaking news. Billy's mini bike is coming, and it's just going to drive itself because apparently it doesn't need anybody to ride it.
Yes, I'm actually gonna pull it on a trailer just by itself.
Since it found out Damien couldn't be there, it just figured it would just go on its own, and it's entering every bracket class. So you guys better look out.
Well, I mean, Odie's boy is old enough to race in the adults classes now.
I know.
He
I
won
seen
the kids
that.
with it last year.
I know.
That's kind of
now
scary.
He can't ride it. I lost my jockey, Dave.
All right, guys. I'm a little late on this. Bear with me real quick here. I've got some news to tell you guys about the Skelton's race, where World Sand Drag News and Southern Power Sports are getting together.
Spoiler alert: HP's going to be on site. It's going to be awesome.
So we have, we've got a lot going on here. Bear with me as I find it. I don't want to make a mistake and not get this correct. Basically what we have here, all right, for the Shelton's race, this is kind of breaking news, if you will. We are going to have from Southern Power Sports Drag Racing Series, we have 6 events. Well, again, myself, Billy, and World Sand Drag News got together, and we're, bringing what I have been able to accomplish to Shelton's. We are going to have just over $14,000 added to Shelton's and
Nice.
cash and payouts. All right. I want to thank our sponsors for that. HPT Turbochargers, HPL Superior Lubricants, Mr. RPM Cycle. Those 3 are our diamond sponsors. We have Reaper Suspension. We have Top Shelf Performance, The Bomb Racing, Jeff Ross, Murray Power Sports, Mott Motorsports, Angel Performance, and of course, World Sand Drag News. So we also have another guy that's coming on board, and he's putting out $100 at 5 races, including Shelton's, for the best package. He's going to start it off at $100, and we're going to go around and see if we can add to it, and that will be our index and our bracket racing. Whoever has the best package is going to get $100, and that's Cat's Ass Racing, thanks to TJ Mack. So he's went in $500. So, total. So guys, you got to be there. We've got, what Billy has done here to get everything going, and James Shelton. Again, you got to go. You got to be there. It's going to be huge. We got a lot of stuff to hand out. HPT Turbocharged, HPL Super Lubricants will be in-house. Mr. RPM Cycle will be there. Reaper Suspension will be there. Top Shelf will be there. The Bomb Racing will be there. Murray will not. Mott Motorsports will be there. Angel Performance will be there. And of course, us, World Sand Drag News. So Billy, I don't even think I told you that yet, but yes, it's over 14 grand that we're bringing in cash.
This is a great time to tell me that, though. So thank you, Dave, for you bringing all the work Dave's done. He's going to contribute that to our race at Shelton's Dirt Drags Bluegrass Shootout, May 29th, 30th, 31st, presented by WSDN and SPDRS. And I want to give a shout out to Team Cole Racing, National Juniors Dirt Drags, as well, for hopping on as plaque sponsors for a few classes. And this is going to be an awesome race as well. And this is, that kind of ties in as a little Little plug for our race there. But yeah, I'm just excited for all the people who are confirmed for the race, and it's gonna be a banger, and I can't wait because this is how it's gonna go for me. May 17th, I think, if Shelby gave us the okay, we're gonna go to the first points race at Thunder Valley Sand Drags, and then the next weekend after that is Memorial Day weekend, and then that's when we go to Atoka for Memorial Day weekend race, and they race Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then I'll literally have 3 days off. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off. Thursday, we're right back to racing at Shelton's. So it's gonna be awesome next month or so for me. A bunch of racing coming up. So and that's kind of funny because I didn't think I was gonna be doing a whole lot. So now I'm getting 3 of them right back to back. So
funny how that works out. So all right. So that's gonna wrap up our first little segment here. Let's move right on into our first guest. Hey everyone, welcome back to this episode of the Paddle Talk podcast. Great to have you along, and we got a big show this week. Not gonna lie, it is full of guests, full of stuff, full of upcoming events and great news. And I tell you what, really special things going on. So let's dive right in. With us tonight, Mr. Harry Hruska out of HPT Turbochargers and the kind of HP brands, along with Mr. Dave Applegate from Southern Power Sports Drag Racing Series. That is a big announcement to let us go with as well. Also joined by Mr. John Sorg, Damien Bowers, and Billy Teeters. So, Dave Applegate, I'm going to give you the floor right off the bat, buddy, because you've done a ton of work. You deserve some screen time here. Dive right in. What do you got for us?
Well, I'll tell you, with Southern Power Sports Drag Racing Series, last year was really, truly the first year, although I was doing it a couple years before that. Last year went good. This year, started going after sponsors and trying to meet and learn and get new people, and got the chance to actually get to know a guy named Dave Dunn. And Dave is really well known in the snowmobile area. And now that I am building a different machine other than the side by side, I'm building a dragster, and we're putting a snowmobile engine in it. Dave told me about HPT turbochargers, and I'm like, all right, well, I'd heard of them before, obviously, as most of us have. And next thing I know, Dave's like, hey, I'm going to reach out to them and see if they'll help you with your series. I'm like, all right, great. And I got a phone or a message, I should say, from Julie, and we got to talking. And the next thing I know, we have our new diamond sponsor that I was not expecting. And I am extremely happy and very excited to be a part of these guys because they have a long history. And, it's just something that I feel is going to help grow the sport. I'm not, how do I say this? With my series, yes, I want to see my series grow. Sure, I do. But I'm more interested in the sport to grow. And if we can get some companies in like HPT and the HP brands, then we're going in the right direction, right? So that's the way that I see it. And Julie has been fantastic. And it just happens to be we're able to meet up and talk tonight to Harry, the owner of the of HPT or HP brand. Sorry about that. He's got a lot of history, and we're getting ready to hear that from him. So, Harry, tell us a little bit about where you're from and how you started, buddy. And I greatly appreciate what you have done for Southern Power Sports Drag Racing Series, and not only me, but for all the racers out there that you are building products for, whether it's dirt, blacktop, whatever it is. We couldn't do this without you. So please go ahead and fill us in.
Well, thank you for the introduction. That was very nice of you to say those things. I just want to say, starting off, is I'm happy to be part of the program. Throughout my nearly 40 years of being in performance motorsports, I've always given back to the racers and always worked hard to help the sanctioning series, have good places to race, because without that customer base, we're nobody. And it's not only that, but it's also the people like Dave Dunn who are out there working their butt off to try to produce good products so that customers have success stories. And so that's the brick and mortar guys that are out there are really the grassroots of what we need to help the guys who want to go race. It's all tribal knowledge that's developed over, since, literally 1986, 1985, when I started getting into racing. So I really appreciate the opportunity that was brought forth, that Dave, connected us. It's a worthwhile series. Let's just get in there and get the job done, and let's support people and see what happens. We don't have a lot of products out there yet, but we definitely have the best product to buy, today for people to win races. So to know about my background, you'd have to go back to my legacy company, which is Precision Turbo and Engine. I started that company in 1987. I pioneered turbochargers since then, and it became my full-time career in 1993. And of course, I won over 300 world championships and close to 400 world records, since then with all my legacy products. The company got really big. It's still really big. But the thing is that I lost touch with my customer base, and that's what I love to do. I love to have time to answer the phone and talk to people and figure out their combinations and help them, with their dreams of what they want to do, with whatever their goals and objectives are. I love that part, and managing a lot of people in the company. I kind of lost my way. Wound up selling the company, and about, my non-compete was 4 years, and during that time I realized, like, what I really missed was the people that I talked to on the phone. And that's how I started back in the early days. I had to actually teach people how to turn on a laptop computer, and how to load a big floppy disk on DOS. And how, because I started in fuel injection, and I had to teach people literally how to do the keystrokes. And we didn't have 3-bar map sensors, 4-bar map, 5-bar. We didn't have any of that. We had bank to bank, wide, not even a wideband. We just had a single wire O2, and that's what I road raced on back in the 80s at 36 pounds of boost with a 2-bar map sensor, which is only good for 14.7, and without timing control. So I cut my teeth, and with stone knives and axes. And so that knowledge of doing fuel injection, turbocharging, bringing multiple patents under my belt, restarting with a clean sheet of paper with HPT turbochargers. Wow, if you can imagine just going back 20 years and restarting your life and just having a clean sheet of paper, well, that's what we're bringing to market now. And one of our slogans is we're raising the bar. And that's what our brick and mortar guys are seeing. That's what our customers are seeing. And that's truly what drives us, is to bring the best product to the market so people can have, their hard-earned money when they're making choices, and we're going to spend it. So to make sure they get the best product. And it's not only that. I kind of, in point in my life, want to be hassle-free. I don't like the stress of warranty. So I offer a 2-year unlimited warranty. You could drop it off the bench and smash it. I'm still going to fix it for you. You can run a valve through it. You can do whatever. It doesn't matter. You can run sand through it. I'm still going to fix it for 2 years. And then we tie into the oil program, which I retained when I sold Precision Turbo, was the HPL oil, which is from High Performance Lubricants. It's the best product on the market. We started to use it in our Pro Mod back in around 2014 is when I started working with those guys and found out how great it was, where we didn't burn push rods anymore on a big, Brad Anderson Hemi making 3,500 horse at the time. And all of a sudden that problem went away, and I was a believer. And those people are just the best handshake deal I've ever made in my life. And that's where HPL oil comes from. So we add extra extended warranty by just buying the oil. We throw another 2 years at it. It's just the coolest thing ever to be able to do that. And then our customers are, gosh, they get a good product, and they got a great warranty, and and every day we're working on something new. So that's a little bit of my background. You got any questions on that?
Well, I got something I want to mention. So when I was on the phone with your daughter a week or so ago, right, when we was getting all the sponsorship stuff together, I kind of made a joke to her. I'm like, you know what? I said, I guess Harry was around in the old Grand National time. And she got to laughing, and we got to talking about that. And I got to tell you a story, Harry, if she hasn't told you yet.
Okay.
My dad and my mom had a 57 Chevy that she was driving daily. And she was driving it to Custom Mold Dynamics, which was a guy named Dick Miller. And he was building 55, 67 Chevy parts. He worked for GM for years. My mom was his first employee. Well, mom wanted something a little bit better for us kids. We were young, she wanted something better. They went out and looked for a car. And, you know, we was just at the house. Mom and dad left. Dad comes back and I'm out in the garage with dad. And he's like, man, I was so close. I was so close. And I'm like, what are you talking about, Dad? He goes, it was 1986, if I remember right. He's like, well, I talked your mom into going to look at the Grand National. He goes, so we got in it. She loved the car. She thought it was beautiful. I think it was great. He goes, when we went down out of Milford, Ohio, it was where we was from. He goes, we went down on 275. He goes, I got on the exit ramp and I nailed that thing and it put her in the seat. And she goes, nope, nope, hell no, nope, we're not getting this car. And I was telling your daughter about it and she got to laughing. And she tells me that you actually are promoting, I guess it is promoting a race just for the Grand Nationals. Is that right? And that's coming up, right?
Well, actually, I have a long history with Grand Nationals. I worked for Garrett from '87 to 1993 and '93 is when I went full time at Precision Turbo. And one of the first events I went to, drag race events, was at the Buick Nationals. And we are sponsoring 2 or 3 different classes this year. And that has been a legacy customer of mine for many, many years. We've literally built thousands and thousands of turbochargers. We pioneered so many innovative things for the Grand National. You know, I still retain customers from 1990 are still my customers today in that group. And even on my Facebook right now, there's a picture of me pointing at one of my good customers, Alan Witter, just asking people if they even remember that car. Because that was one of the cars that I tuned. Because not only did we do turbos, we built engines and I tuned a lot of those cars and a lot of the record holders. There's all kinds of stories about that. But yes, I'm going to a Buick race, the Nationals. Not this, but next week. A week from today, I'll be leaving for Bowling Green, Kentucky, which is home of that race. I've probably been there at least since 1987, at least 25 times to that event. And yeah, it's just when I came back with HPT out, we built all new products for the Grand National. Like, why that car is now 40 years old. Can you imagine? But to be honest, that car was really what got us going back in those days of the 80s. That was the primary customer. We used to sell between 8 to 15 turbos a day for those cars. And you know what? We're still selling them now.
Well, and that's the reason why I brought that up is this. We've seen what you did with those cars. We've seen what you did with others. And now we're kind of going towards the dirt and sand drags.
Yeah.
And we ourselves, World Sand Drag News, we've got a lot of guys that are shooting for world records. And I can see not only just, the relationship that we have with Southern Power Sports and HPT, but not just me, all of us
Mhm.
together. Like, we're hoping that you can come in and you can help, build these turbos because you're going to Shelton's. You may be able to look at that and say, hey, wait a minute, I see what they're having trouble with. I can build a turbo to do a certain thing, to make that react better on the dirt or the sand. So that's why I mentioned the Grand Nationals, because I feel that you're going to be a huge hit and a huge help to the dirt and sand drag world.
Well,
Isaac, do you have anything to add here?
I seem to remember as a kid, I subscribed to a little publication called Muscle Mustangs and Fast Fords, and I remember Harry's name appearing there a fair amount, if I remember correctly. So I'm super super stoked that you're even on with us tonight. I'll be honest, I had no idea we were so close. I mean, I'm in Michigan. John and I are probably
Right. Hour and a
5,
half.
10 miles apart, something like that. And we're probably maybe 45 minutes from you. So that's really cool. And I'm just excited that Dave has put in the work, has found a sponsor that seems to be so seamlessly integrated, so to speak, into what we're trying to do. And I'm super happy. And this is, I think, going to be a fantastic thing. So, gents, that the rest of the guys up there, John, Damian, Billy, anything you guys have questions on or something to go with?
John, some of these guys that's
There's a
that's
lot of
running.
turbo guys up around us, car guys, some side-by-side guys. I mean, I think that's going to be pretty damn cool to have you involved in the sport.
well,
Yeah, and it's not just the side-by-side guys. We've got I mean, look at, there
Oh,
was a guy,
Jerry. Oh,
yeah. What was the guy's name, the young man's name that beat me in, I think it was, the bracket race. I think it was a young man, had the all black Drexler with, two turbos on it. LS motor. What was his name? We did an interview with him. I can't remember his name, but he was up there at Tri-County.
Oh, I
Franklin.
don't know his name off the top of my head, but I
You
know
know
oh,
who
who
I
I'm
know
you're
who you're
talking
talking
about
talking
though,
about. I
don't you?
just can't think of his name.
There is so many turbos, Harry, that are in the dirt sand drag world, whether it's side by sides, four by
Full
four
size.
ATVs, the 4x4 ATV classes that me, Billy, Isaac, Damien, Caleb, and all of us, and John have started that last year. The Outlaw is all turbos, like they're all running turbos. So I mean, you're going to see that here at Shelton's. And keep in mind, Billy is the one that has started that race at Shelton. So we're really excited, man. Damien, is there anyone else you can think of that's running turbos right now?
I know Austin Bullock for the last several years. They've been running a 4.8 LS with a single turbo. They just upgraded to a 427 LS with a 120 millimeter turbo, I believe. But another thing was with what he was talking about in the 80s, there was a lot of people running turbocharged Buick V6s and Pinto four cylinders in the sand in the 80s and early
Yeah.
90s.
Our biggest
Yeah.
things was Isaac. You can go back with this in the sand. In dirt world, it was turbo Volkswagen for a number
Oh,
of years.
You're
For a
right.
absolutely.
good 20 years.
You're absolutely right. And I tried to get into that deal with not only with turbos but fuel injection. But since they were draw through carbureted or blow through carbureted, that was
Sure.
old school. I mean, I went to some of those races and I couldn't sell gas. I mean, I just couldn't sell anything.
Oh, wow.
Because but the times have changed, and back when I was road racing in the '80s, I was road racing a 2.3 liter Ford,
Sure.
and we were cranking out over 500 horse with nothing on just gasoline back in those
So what
days.
series were you running in then back then?
SCCA, right?
So basically Trans Am cars.
Yeah, but it was a SVO Mustang that I raced, and I had a full perimeter turbo coupe that I raced as well. And I raced it.
Nice.
My
Okay.
first time on the racetrack was at Road America. That's the
Oh
first
wow.
race.
Oh, no
That's
shit.
like the
Definitely a
first.
track you need horsepower.
Wait, I can go better than that. The first drag race was in a pro mod in Houston for an NHRA. So, but yeah, I first raced at Road America, and there's a track up in Beloit, Wisconsin, up near Rockford called Black Hawk Farms. It was just a beautiful racetrack. In fact, I raced with Walter Payton after he retired. He was up there racing a little bit, so I had a little rubbed elbows with him. Of course, we just
Wow.
kind of looked at but I remember him being there. It's just I've got a lot of. It's not only just turbocharging, but my experience in fuel management, fuel injection. I've been a tuner, since the '80s. I was one of the pioneers in fuel injection, and owned part of Big Stuff 3 for a long time. I've got background now in Formula One that I'm working on.
Oh
Um,
wow.
I bring a lot to when I look at a car. I'm just not looking at the turbo. I'm looking at the whole package. I can build cars. I built a lot of race cars. I'm building my own pro mod. I'm getting back into another pro mod this year. I'll be racing. I've set and actually I broke into the pro mods back in 2008 and started winning NHRA races in 2010. I've owned 5 cars in 12 years. I'm coming up on car number 6. Since
Wow.
And I
When when you're talking pro mods, and I don't mean to say anything bad here at all, but I'm sure you probably remember Mr. Steve Engel.
sure I do.
All right, so Steve Engel and my family was very close. So
Mm-hmm.
Quaker Steak and Lube down there in Coleraine, Ohio, his
Yep.
Corvette is hanging on the wall. I don't know if you've been there, but my dad and I and 2 other guys, my cousin and another guy, put that together and put it on the wall down there. And when you say pro mod, it brings back a lot of memories, man. We miss Steve, So
Oh, yeah, it's a tough sport, and you
yep.
get trouble in a hurry. Those door slammers are fast, and they're doing everything they can, and it's a lot safer now, and that's safety is got to be a priority. That's and all racing, even in the sand racing. I look at what you guys are doing, like you can get hurt just quick. And it's a little bit scary to me watching it. And I have even coached a few people that I've seen doing it and said, you know what, you could be in that seat a little bit better.
Oh,
Well,
totally.
we've got guys cutting 160 footers. You know what I mean? I tell you, the guys on the blacktop, I don't think they quite realize what we're doing in the dirt and the sand.
Oh,
We can hang right with them. You know what I
yeah.
mean? We can hang
And
right with them.
You sure
definitely,
can, and that, but you don't have nearly the safety equipment that they do in a door.
Right.
Yep.
And that's my point that I saw. I was like, this is where your seats. I mean, I race in a poured seat. I'm strapped in with seven points, right, in my harness. I mean, when my guy pulls me in, he's about 230 pounds. He stands about 6'4". The car, he every muscle he's got is strapping me in, and I can't. And the way the belts are in, I'm in. Like I'm part of that car, and
Yep.
I haven't seen that. I'm be interested to see that down there because I was very safety oriented. Because I've had some things. I've worked with a lot of drivers, and I've been through some rough times with that, and it's not pretty if you're just not in the car right. So I
That's
bring
correct.
just a little bit of everything, but of course, turbochargers is we're coming down there, and I really can't wait to see all the different cars and just talk to people and just kind of see what's going on because you're right, I am going to learn a lot, and that's why I'm coming. It's going to be a great event. I love it.
Yes, sir. Isaac, you want to pull us out of there? Harry, greatly appreciate the sponsorship. It means a lot, not only for my series, but for the racers and the whole sport, because I feel that you are going to be a huge, huge help to the whole sport, you and your group, especially your oil. So Isaac, Billy, do you have anything? Are we ready to close it out?
Dave, all I got to say is you better bring him to Silver Lake. I mean,
Please.
he could come up for Friday and be home yet Friday night. I mean, and stop for a burger. So,
I mean, there's the race in September that you're part of, Dave and Cleves. That's going to be a fun one too.
I have already talked to his daughter Julie about
Yeah.
IOK and Silverback. She's going to talk to Harry. We're going to get that hopefully scheduled in and see what we can do. But absolutely, man, we'd love to see it more races and not just mine. I mean, if there's something closer, go to one of these races, meet the crowd. You know what I mean? Absolutely.
And we need to do that because we really want to be integrated into what people need. We don't want to be building product that people can't use. So it really helps us. We've been developing this stuff for the side-by-sides now for a couple of years, and it's phenomenal, but we can always be better. And I appreciate the opportunity. I really do.
hey, man, you're
Well,
welcome anytime. We love the amount of knowledge, and I feel like at some point we may have to dig in even more into your past a little, and I'm sure we could talk about some really cool stuff. So, all right. Well,
Happy
Harry,
to do it.
thanks for coming on. Dave, great job. And gentlemen, yes, Damian Bowers.
I was going to say, with the Michigan deal, there's a 4-week span in there with 3 of the biggest races of the year when it comes to heads up and index racing as well. in
Very much
Michigan,
so. Yeah. Michigan's
from
not
June
far
into
off. So,
July.
Dave, what do you got to wrap us up?
before we let Harry go, Harry, again, I got to thank you. Guys, if you're watching, listening, whatever you're doing, driving the road, listening, or watching the podcast, HPT, HPL, HP brands, on my series, we have $89,800 to the date to hand out for 6 races. HP brands has put in $55,200 in total in cash and prizes with gift certificates and whatnot and some cash. So guys, please hit them up, check them out, give them a shout out. Maybe you don't need a turbo, but they have other things. They've got oil, they've got injectors, correct? So give them a shout. Let's keep them guys moving because they're helping us go fast as well.
All right, so that's about going to wrap up our discussion on this topic. Dave and Harry, for that matter, how does somebody get a hold of you? I mean, say there's somebody out there like, man, I got this idea. I've been wanting to turbocharge my side-by-side. I want to build a Pro Truck Elite truck with twins on it. Hint, hint. Something like that. How do they get a hold of you, and what's the best way?
Well, it's just like in this day and age, it's every way, right? Facebook, hptturbos.com. You can go on my personal Facebook, Harry Hruska, Hruska. You can contact me there. People message me all the time. They message us on Facebook. call us at the office. It's if you go on our website, it's got our phone number, links in. Just it's so easy these days. Up here in Hebron, Indiana. So yeah, I'm. That's the beauty of what I like to do is I like to be there to answer the phone. Our team leave a message. I just call people. I honestly talk to people all over the world. So I'm talking to people at 2 a.m, 5 a.m. I have another meeting tonight with Australia coming up at eight this evening. If I'm not late already, so any way you can do it, I'm available. HPT program.
Fantastic. I love that you are that available too. I mean, that is great customer service. And I mean, that's how you build a good business, right? It's the customer, it's making that interaction, being approachable. And I tell you what, man, I really appreciate the fact, we all do, appreciate the fact you were so willing to come on tonight. And it's been a great show. So, Dave, anything else to add as we take it out here?
You can also obviously go to his page and you can look at it here shortly on World Sand Drag News. We'll have him linked up there, I'm sure, as well as Southern Power Sports Drag Racing Series. So check them out.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome.
Harry Hruska is brought to you by the Bluegrass Shootout at Shelton's Dirt Drags, May 29th, 30th, and 31st. We will be running a bunch of classes, index racing, bracket racing, pro class racing, and much, much more. And to quickly list the schedule, Thursday we have Test and Tune. Friday we got Test and Tune, open bracket for cars, open bracket for ATVs, quick 16 cars, quick 16 ATVs, 4x4 ATV pro mods, side-by-side pro mods, and a 295 index challenge. That 295 index challenge is going to be off the trailer 295 index racing, and it's going to be also counting for your qualifying session for Saturday's show as well. Saturday we have a kids bracket race, more sportsman racing, sportsman cars, sport ATV, pro comp, pro ATV, 3 index classes just for cars, 395 index, 350 index, and the almighty 295 index that has $1,000 added money by SPDRS, and it is on a pro tree. We also have side-by-side outlaw and 4x4 ATV outlaw. And a reminder, we have $14,000 of additional added cash and prizes thanks to Southern Power Sports Drag Racing Series. Shout out to Team Cole Racing and National Juniors Dirt Drags for hopping on as plaque sponsors for this race as well. And it's going to be a great race. And we hope to see everybody there. And now, here is David French.
Hey everyone, welcome back to this episode of the Paddle Talk Podcast. In our next segment, we are going to, and I will quote here from Mr. Hillbilly Proud, Keith himself, West by God, Virginia, to bring in Mr. David French to the program this week. David, how you doing, buddy? And welcome to the Paddle Talk Podcast.
I'm doing wonderful. Thanks for having me.
No doubt, man. Hey, so a little background here. I met David last June at the MRA race down in Missouri. Great time. Blown away at the fit and finish on his now former Jeep. Well, that's pretty public knowledge, so we'll just leave it hang like that. And now in the last couple of days, you've debuted some pictures of a new Colorado that looks equally as mean. So excited to see that thing go down the track. So tell us a little bit, how long you've been kind of doing the dirt mud thing, and where exactly you're from, and that sort of thing.
Nice. All right, cool. I'm from Red House, West Virginia, born and raised in Jackson County, West Virginia. Man, I've been mud racing since probably 2006-07. Started out at West Virginia Mud Racing Association. Won a couple championships back in the day in 2010-11. Started racing with MRA about that time frame in the Superstock division. Went around and around several years with that. Moved up to Outlaw Pro Stock for like 2 races. Had some catastrophic engine failure. I said, that's not for me right now, especially with the finances. So I guess I'm getting my feet wet again with the big dogs this year.
Oh, that's true. That's true. So the Jeep looked fantastic. I have obviously not, personally, like in person seen the Colorado, but I have no doubt it is equally as impressive. that truck looks really good, and it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. So, unfortunately, you will not be in my neck of the woods when Texas Mud Drags is here in June, as you will be at home in West Virginia with the Jeff Hammond Memorial Race. Let's talk some about that. What's going on? What's kind of give us the ins and outs of the race here.
So we was looking to schedule a race at the Jackson County Junior Fairgrounds. We got an awesome facility there. Man, those guys are wonderful to work with. So they asked us to host a second race there this year, along with side of the fair race that we do. So no other way to open up our season for racing for a cause and racing for Jeff Hammond. Man, Jeff and Mikey Hammond's been around the sport here locally for years. And matter of fact, his son Mikey and I was partnered in the 70 model Ford truck that raced there and won a national championship with in the MRA. So we was partners there. He stepped back out of the racing scene for a while. His dad just recently was diagnosed with stage 4 lung, colon, and thyroid cancer. It's really took a turn there starting around December. And what better way for us to give back to the community and give back to the racers than have a benefit race? I honestly don't care if I go there and win $1. I want to put on a show for the fans, for everybody that's coming in. The fair board's giving us 50% of the gate money. We're having silent auction items as well. We got $3,000 guaranteed plus 100% payback. So I hope to gosh we have a great turnout. And I apologize to the Texas Mud Drags for having a race on their date as well, because we try to stagger off those to get the best attendance around the sport. But unfortunately, this one fell the way it did, and we just got to make the best of it.
That's right. Try as hard as we might, there's just times when stuff falls on the same day, and everything else. So this is going to be side-by-side dirt drags. I notice you guys have open, pro mod, super street, hot street, mod street, pure street, and a consistency class. So it's kind of get in where you fit in type of deal, right? I mean,
absolutely.
You should be able to race pretty much anything there.
Yes, sir. From pro modified and open class will be ET based. Obviously, consistency, the closest to 2 passes wins, and the remaining of the classes will be heads up. Single elimination, we may do double, just depending on the truck count. For more racing is better, obviously, but them upper class guys, they kind of don't like to run heads up around here. They don't want to put that many passes on the ride. And I understand, there's a lot of races coming up. And to start out the year side by side, heads up action, something happens, man, you might be down before you make it to a big race, big national anyways.
You're not wrong. That is very true. I mean, we're talking second weekend in June. This is June 14 for those of you that don't know. People can find more stuff if you look up West Virginia Dirt Drags on Facebook. They even have some silent auction stuff, which looks pretty cool. I plan on bidding on something if I can remotely, and then figuring out somebody to bring it to me at some point in time if I happen to win something. So that's kind of my game plan. So, all right, Damian Bowers, I know you are full of anticipation. Go ahead.
Well,
I give you free reign.
First thing I got to ask, what is the engine combination on this new rig? Or are you going to be as secretive as all these super stock guys are?
Heck no, man. There's nothing no secrets. You got to ask the right questions, right, to get the true answer. and to be honest, I'm a small fish in a little pond. I'm coming headstrong with the super stock motor out of the Jeep. I've got 2 stages of induction solutions nitrous system on that sucker. We're gonna let her fly, buddy. Hopefully flames only, no pistons, but hopefully flames.
Hopefully just flames out the exhaust, nowhere else.
That's right.
I did that myself last year, and it came out the side of the head.
Oh, no. I don't want that right away. You know what? We'll probably start off with a small stage, probably 300 on the first kit. It is not a nitrous motor. Let's just be honest. Picture PDRA Pro 632 class. That's what kind of engine I got. It's a badass NA motor, but we're going to spray it. If it needs pistons, why put them in there until it needs it?
Hey, Texas Mud Drags definitely. You don't have to be the fastest to win with the Texas Mud Drags. You got to go rounds, and you got to go A to B. especially
Absolutely.
especially on a clay track.
Yeah, absolutely. My buddy Casey Lawyer, my partner in crime there, he hooked me up from some scoops. So we do have some scoops for the back of it. So as soon as I get some wheels and get it out and get some few passes under my belt, we'll bolt them suckers on and let her hang.
I'm not gonna lie. Had I had a little bit of forethought, we would have brought him on tonight because
Oh man,
I
yeah,
I
absolutely.
I can attest the two of these guys together is a sight to behold in itself. And we'll just leave it at that.
Now, the other big thing, are we going to see you try and make any 300-foot races this year?
Well, let's see how it goes. You know what I mean? You know, I want to go out and I want to run a couple MRA races. Not really running for a championship this year. You know, I'm taking a knife to a gunfight, man. Them George guys and Harrisons, they are absolutely flying, and I love that class. I just want to get in the mix. If I get in the top half of the field, man, I'm ecstatic. We're still going to eat steak on the way home.
I love it, man. Dave Applegate, yes, you are looking for a question.
It's not actually a question, David. What you just said is what I wish more racers would do, is what you just said. And what I mean by that is you said that you're kind of the, not on the lower totem pole, but you're not one of the big guys in that particular class, but you are still excited and you're wanting to go for it, and you'll be tickled to death if you can get in the top half. That to me says a whole lot about you. And I remember meeting you at Little Sandy years ago with the gray Jeep. And then I met you down there at North Florida Motorplex Park, which we had a blast down there. Oh my God, that was fun. I got a chance to run my side by side that night, if you remember right. That was kind of fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
But been doing the two-step all the way back up the return lane there for the crowd. It was a great time. But man, what you just said really is what I like to hear from racers. It's like, hey man, whether you're the big dog or you're not, you're there to race, to have fun, be excited, and enjoy the sport. I just applaud you for that, man. That's a great thing you just said.
Thank you.
John,
Thank you. And that's what it's about.
Yep, absolutely. John, you just put your hand up there a minute ago for something.
No, I didn't actually, but I can't wait to see the new ride because it looks like a sweet build.
Yep. I appreciate it. I work hard on them, as everybody does, but I can't go out there and have somebody build me a chassis. I'm not that guy. And if I did, I believe all my buddies would make fun of me, right? So I hand bend all my tubing here in my shop, my little 30 by 32 garage, and I do the best I can. I honestly do. So, and it's the same with everybody. I applaud anybody that wants to try it. Go ahead, buy you a bender, $500 Woodward Fab bender, and have at her, man. Tear some pipe up. You'll learn it eventually. You'll do good. I promise you.
Get that stick welder out.
That's right.
Stick welder? No. Hey, after you're done, John, you got to get some of that silicone and wrap it around them welds so it looks real good.
Oh,
That's what you got to do.
Johnny
Just
said
bondo it
stick
up.
welder, and every farmer within a 3-mile radius of my house was like, "What? That's just the welder. What are you talking about?"
Oh, man.
All right, Damian, what else you got?
Not really much. It's just one of those big things. I'm looking forward to seeing what this thing runs. I know you've got one big 300-foot race in your area out there, the Challenge in the Hills, and I can't remember where in West Virginia that is, but
Parsons, West
Somerset.
Virginia, Tucker County.
But would love to see you out this way. Maybe swing up to Michigan for Pro Truck in July, or out here for an Outlaws race, or hell, maybe even come to Gravel Rama or Last Blast. Something a little bit different for you. We'll see how that truck flies on the hill drags.
Ooh.
I don't know if I could get up
Nah.
the hill as low as it sits.
Not the big hill. We got a small hill that we drag race on.
Yeah, so do we, but you ain't stopping on that one very easy.
Yeah, no doubt.
What's your expectations, Dave? What are you hoping for ET wise?
Man, I would really, really love to just be consistent 250s. If I can get in that, I mean, I would be ecstatic, especially with 23-degree headed, 672-inch big block Chevrolet, single carb, 2 stages. Come on now, what more could I ask for?
I mean,
my personal best is a 61, probably back in 2016 2012, 2013 with a 585 with 400 on it. So I feel like I should be able to get in the 50s, possibly. And if I do that, hey, I'm game. Let's roll.
And that's 200 feet.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, 200 feet. And what was your best? I'm just curious. What was the best ET out of the beautiful gray Jeep? That thing was gorgeous. What was the best ET out of that when you owned it?
Best ET out of that, I believe, was a 298 with a 3 in Mississippi in 200 feet at 3,620 pounds. I've been as fast in 300 feet as a 280 or 381, excuse me, at Little Sandy, which we all know that track is phenomenal. But there's not as much hook there as there is at an MRA race.
Oh,
I feel we
definitely
could have
not.
went mid to high 70s in 300 down there at 3,600 pounds.
That's
I mean, I was
fine.
next
That
to you
kind of
on one
weight.
of them licks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, we're
No, that's
excited
awesome.
for you, buddy. We're excited for you. I can't wait to see it, man. Can't wait.
Yep.
And guys, if no one here has met Dave and his family, I'm telling you what, this guy, I wish I had half of the energy that this man has. Like he's just balls to the wall all day long. Like, good God, man. You got to meet him. If you go to one of the races, look up David French because, man, he is awesome.
Hey,
Isaac?
you can come up to Snow Hill Climb next year. I mean, if Casey Lawyer's not going to bring his truck, somebody might as well.
Just
Hey,
have fun keeping them bottles.
I'm not opposed.
The nitrous trucks do really well there. I'm just throwing that out there. So anyway, all right. Well, hey, David, thanks for coming on. Looking forward to the race. Maybe we'll have you on again, like right before, just to, once you get everything lined up and some of your final sponsors and everything, and we'll go through that kind of thing. Definitely want you to come back on afterwards so we can talk about how the race went and stuff. And guys, any other questions for David before we let him go?
Just remember, Dave, if you ever get in a bracket racing at 300 feet, that dude, John Sword, try to stay away from that guy.
David, you got something else?
No, I'm good.
All right.
Yeah,
Very good.
If John's the big guy, I want him first off a trailer.
There you
That's
go.
my
That's
guy in the
what
sport
I'm
right
talking
there.
about.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
right
I love
there.
it.
I
Call
do
outs.
too.
This is great. All right, folks. So that is going to wrap up this segment of the Paddle Talk podcast. Great to have David French on here, straight out of, and I will quote, West by God, Virginia. Great to have him on tonight. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.